You
I
talk
have
about
a
it.
mental illness, and I am going to say it just like that.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Alyssa Milano coming out and saying that we should not be stockpiling weapons during this whole coronavirus situation. Now, if you don't know who she is or why it's important, I'm going to talk about that before we get to the particular clip in question. Alyssa Milano was on a show back in the 90s called Charmed. She is a quote-unquote celebrity that has been all over the internet saying a lot of different things. She goes on The View. She goes on different places. Although I'm not really a fan of idolizing celebrities, these people do have some kind of influence because they're out there talking to people and they're actually listening. They're being given platforms. They have money behind them. They have whole organizations behind them. We'll get to that in a moment. So what they say, although to me, it doesn't make much difference, to some people, to many people, it does. Before I go any further, let's go ahead and roll this particular clip. In this clip, you'll see what Alyssa Milano says about guns and how we shouldn't be stockpiling all this, that, and the third. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what she said. I'll give you a little bit more context. I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Hi, everybody. So I'm making this video because I'm seeing reports all over the country of Americans responding to the coronavirus outbreak by buying up guns and ammunition. And I know that we are all scared and stressed out during these really uncertain times, but that is exactly why stockpiling weapons, could have dire consequences for our own personal safety and those around us. The weapons that people are buying today could end up being used in households, schools, churches, bars, and on our streets in the future. So we all have to look out for each other. Please, please, please share this video to help stop the coronavirus gun surge. We can't lose any more lives to guns during this pandemic or after it's over.
All right, so you heard that, you saw that. Now, I'm not really sure where to begin. I guess I should start with the elephant in the room, at least in my humble opinion, and that is that the people who are going out there buying guns right now that are quote unquote stockpiling guns are your own people, Alyssa Milano. These are lefties. These are the people that probably voted in favor of gun control. They think people like myself and many others shouldn't be able to get guns very easily. All right. They think they are the good guys with guns that we talk about all the time. But this whole virus thing going on, people are getting scared and they're finding ways to protect themselves, whether with 1,000 rolls of toilet paper, which is not needed, but I'll move on from that, or with guns. So a lot of your own people, like 90% of your own people on the left, are going out there and purchasing weapons. And it's their right to be able to do so. Second Amendment, okay? They have that right. It's provided to them by the government. It's provided to them by God. They can protect themselves, especially at a time like this. Now, she's saying that some of these guns could be used in mass shootings in churches and schools and whatnot. But I mean, if somebody's going to be crazy and do something crazy, laws are not going to prevent them from doing it because it's already illegal to kill people. So if you just take away one particular tool, at least in a legal sense, from a person, that does not mean, number one, they won't be able to get that same tool illegally. And number two, that they won't commit their acts some other kind of way if they can't get that tool by some way. All right. All you do when you put gun laws out there is punish law-abiding citizens. We'll be the ones that follow the law and say, okay, I can't get a gun. I can't go to a gun store. I won't have a gun. But not everybody's going to be that same way. You're going to have some law-abiding people that get their guns regardless because they want to protect themselves and their family. And that's just going to be what it is. They'll take that risk of being labeled as a criminal, of being locked up, if it means that they can protect themselves. How does the saying go? I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That'll be pretty much their mentality. But criminals don't care about any of that. They're going to get their weapon regardless. That's just what it is. They'll make it, they'll steal it, they'll buy it illegally, they'll smuggle it, they'll do something to be able to get what they want. And if a criminal can't get a gun for some strange reason, they'll use a knife. You're seeing it happen right now in UK. UK is a relatively small island nation, and they have a gun ban, but yet their crime rate is through the roof. Their knife crime is through the roof. Now they're talking about trying to ban knives. How are you going to ban knives? You need knives to be able to like cut things. You got boxes and food, and you got to have a knife. It's a tool. I mean, what's next? You're going to ban pliers, shears, hammers, nail guns, miter saws. Are you going to ban any kind of tool that can be used in a way to harm somebody? It does not make any sense. What you should be mad at is a person that does a violent act against someone else when it was not warranted with whatever kind of tool that they use. Trying to ban a gun doesn't make any sense. Stockpiling guns during this particular pandemic is fine. They following the law. You can quote unquote stockpile guns whenever you want to. Before this whole thing happened, I had a little bit of money. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and get my guns right now that I got it and get everything together. I got my guns, I got my ammo, I'm good to go. Some may try to call me a hoarder, a prepper. I don't care. I mean, you can call me a prepper, that's fine, because I like to be prepared for certain things. Actually, I want to be more of a prepper, but that's a different story, so I'll move on. Calling me a hoarder, I don't live in filth. I just am prepared for whatever comes in my direction. But speaking about Alyssa Milano, we got to back up a little bit here to talk about something else while we're on the subject. She has now come out and endorsed Joe Biden, but wasn't she one of the main people out there with the whole Me Too movement? Wasn't she the same person that attacked Brett Kavanaugh because of sexual assault allegations? There are currently sexual assault allegations, or at least one, against Creepy Joe. That's fine, according to Alyssa Milano. She wants to support him. Matter of fact, she was on some kind of podcast or radio show with Andy Cohen. He's the guy that runs, what's that, Bravo, if I'm not mistaken, to have the housewife shows. She was on the podcast with him, and if you want to hear that audio, link to that in the box. I would play here, but they probably strike me. But on that show, he asked her why she's supporting Joe Biden, although there's a sexual assault allegation against him, while she's part of the Me Too movement. And she came out and said, well, look, we want to believe women. That is our main objective. However, we can't just deny men due process. Oh, now all of a sudden you want to have due process, right? Now all of a sudden that matters when you want to support a Democratic presidential nominee or the presumptive nominee. Now all of a sudden due process matters. But when it came to Brett Kavanaugh, oh, nah, the women, I believe them. He cannot be the Supreme Court justice. Get him out of here, all this, that, and the third. That does not appear like a person who is giving someone the benefit of the doubt and is allowing them to have their due process. Okay, to be accused of something, go through court, there's discovery, there's evidence, you get found guilty or innocent. You don't really want to worry about that when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh, but when it comes to Joe Biden, because that's your man, all of a sudden due process matters. And then also with people that buy guns, what about their rights? Second Amendment, anybody? You talk about rights when it comes within that you like, or somebody that you like, or you want to support, but rights don't matter when it comes to things you don't like or things you don't want to support. Second Amendment, who cares about that? Due process, who cares about that when it comes to guns and when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh? But with Joe Biden, all of a sudden, it really matters. You can't really expect much from Hollywood leftists, Hollywood elite people. That's what they do. So anybody out there listens to Alyssa Milano, I will just be cautious, okay? Take what she says with a grain of salt. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think Alyssa Milano is a big-time hypocrite for supporting Joe Biden, although he has a sexual assault allegation against him, while she was attacking Brett Kavanaugh with sexual assault allegations against him? Okay, you see the hypocrisy? And also, you want to be a proponent of rights like due process when it comes to Joe Biden, but not with Brett Kavanaugh and not with gun owners exercising their right to buy guns. Somebody may ask me, hey, ABO, why you gotta buy guns? Why you gotta buy a shotgun, a rifle, a handgun, all this and that and third? I'd be like, because I want to. I don't get on your back when you go to McDonald's and buy all the Happy Meals and the French fries and the hamburgers and everything else. So don't get on my back when I buy guns. That's my right, as it is your right to go to McDonald's and stuff your face with everything on the menu. It is what it is. I can do that because I can. You can do that because you can. Leave that right there. Have that be that. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.